Okay, looking at number 1, they want to know which one best describes the charges. We should know protons positive, neutrons neutral, electrons negative. Always write it out like we've been practicing. Write it out first to match the one that belongs. So I need positive. Oh, that's negative. Oh, no charge. Positive, positive. You know, oh, because I said that's negative. Oh, negative. So my answer has to be B. Number 2, start with the question. Which property of an unknown element determines the other elements it reacts with? Pyre. Valence electrons determine the reactivity. So I'm looking for the one that comes with valence electrons. Oh, neutrons. I don't even know what total number of particle means. Not protons. I'm looking for valence electrons. Number 2, which do they end the same group? Looking on page 38, you should have the group number, hold on, determines by the valence electrons. So if I want the same group number, they're asking me which ones have the same, I'm trying to hold this, valence electrons. Let's look, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so 4 and 1. Number 4. A student hypothesizes that potassium has different chemical properties than calcium. Which of the following statements best supports the hypothesis? Like on page 38, we should have that group / family. Have similar properties. Well, if they have similar and I'm looking for different, then that means I'm looking for different group. And then we said the group, just like on the last one, equals the valence electrons. Potassium has more mass, has nothing to do with it. So we should have eliminated mass, and we should have eliminated non-metal and metal. We should know they're both metals, they're both on that left side. Potassium and calcium are members of the same group. Now, if you looked at your periodic table, just looked at it, you would have seen that's not true because groups go up and down. Potassium have different number, oh, there we go, of valence electrons, which determines them to be in a different group. Number 3 and number 4 are asking you the same thing. You have to take your knowledge and transfer it. I already should have got this one right. 1 molecule of iron oxide. Iron oxide, I need 3 irons, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, oh, that's 4. That's 1, 2, 3. And 4 oxygens, oh, that's short 1, 3. And which investigation is at least likely that the liquids reacted chemically? So it's asking which one did not. So we're going to use, hold on, city girls like their cell phones on. Chemical, gas, light. temperature, color, precipitate, and odor. So if I look for any of these, if I see any of these, that cannot be my answer because it said not. The temperature combined, oh, temperature increased. That's a chemical change. Oh, temperature decreased. That is a chemical change. One settled to the bottom and that changed location. The combined liquids turned from clear to bright purple. That's a color change. There we go. So the only one is 3. Assuming the students did not make any careless mistake, what likely explains these changes in mass? Okay, so the first one lost, the second one gained. And one of the reactants was converted to thermal energy. Converted does not account for a change. Oh, we skipped one. All the reactants were liquids that evaporated. If they all evaporated, that means I'd be at 0 grams. And that's not true. The reactants were liquids with different densities. The reactants were combined into only one product. If I let's look at the next one. One of the products where a gas has escaped into the air, but some gas escaped, that would account for negative. We saw that when some of our carbon dioxide escaped. A gas from the air reacted with one of the other reactants. A gas from the air. So if it came from the air, that would account as to why I didn't have that before. Some of the air from the outside came into my experiment, which would account for more. But let's look at this one. The reactants were liquids with different densities. If they were different density, that just means they would separate. They would look differently. That doesn't tell me anything about these masses. So my answer has to be B. In which experiment are new substances being formed? New substances. It's asking me which one had a chemical change. Same thing. City girls like their cell phones on. Chemical, gas, light, temperature, color, precipitate, odor. There we go. Powder added to the liquid, bubbles. Bubbles. As we know that there was a gas. Two liquids combined level of liquid goes up. That's volume. That's the SOTS. Crystals added, crystals dissolve. That's a change of state of matter. It goes from liquid to gas. Solid added, solid sinks to the bottom. That's just changing location. I added a solid. This was not two liquids. So my answer has to be based on the data, which table shows the correct location? So let me see what they give me. Valence electrons, period, energy levels. On page 38, you have the period number equals the number of energy levels, and the number of valence electrons equals the group number. So let's start here. We should remember that groups go up and down. periods go side to side. Hey. So valence electrons, that means I'm looking at my group. He should be in group 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's not element 1. Let me check here. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Not element 1. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's element 1. Let me check here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's element 1. So I've eliminated 2 answer choices already. So let's go to the next one. Element 2 has 5 valence electrons. Oh, I'm sorry, we gotta check the next one. 2 energy levels. Let me check. 1, 2. He checks out. 1, 2. Okay, so those are good. We go to element 2. 5 energy levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not 2. So my answer has to be B. Based on the information above, which statement provides evidence that a chemical reaction has occurred? Let me see, they give me reactants and products. And we've seen this one. And they have to follow the law of conservation, which means that they're equal. That's an E. There we go. So I can't have more, and I can't have more. So reactants form from the atoms that make up products. Reactants form from the atoms that make up these products. So I get products and then reactants, or atoms that make up reactants rearrange into new products. Remember, we had our yield sign, which means that the reactants are going to rearrange to form the products. Reactants don't form from the products because the products come last. The products form from the reactants. These are the ending ones. I can't start with something that I'm ending with. So my answer has to be C. Now these were really, really close. If you picked this one, that means you're understanding it, but you just need to slow down when you're taking this test, because these are very, I think this is the trickiest question on this whole test. Just make sure you're slowing down. Where am I? Which of the Newton's laws explains why the truck continues to move without gasoline? And we see a truck driving down the road, runs out of gas, and coast inside the road. So he's moving, continues to move. For a reaction, no, equal and opposite has nothing to do with it. An object at rest, that is inertia. The greater the force, there is no force applied. Or an object in motion. So these are both inertia, but let me see what it says. Continues to move. I'm not at rest. I am in motion. Now there's 2 ways you could have figured this one out. An atom of which element is represented by this model. Now I don't know which ones the protons or neutrons are here. I can't look here because I don't know. So I have to either do... I can't use protons, so I'm going to have to use the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them. And I should have been able to pick boron. Or I could have counted the valence electrons. 1, 2, 3. Means that he's in group 3. Period 1, 2 energy levels, period 2. Met in the middle to find boron. Number 13, law of force and acceleration. This is on page 11, and it's also on page 22. Fasten your seatbelt securely, ask the driver to speed up, and then brake suddenly. For your body, continue. Anytime I see continue, that's inertia. Roll 2 balls toward each other with the same speed on a smooth surface. When they hit each other, they move in opposite. Action, reaction. Push a small certain desk and then a large cafeteria table. The cable will require more force because of its greater mass. So sounds like keywords, but let's look at the last one. Roll a tennis ball across a smooth and rough surface. The tennis ball moves further on the smooth surface because there is less friction. There's that resistant force. Anytime we see friction, like we did the marbles on the table and the marbles stopped, nobody stopped it. Friction stopped it because friction is a part of inertia. Based on this information, which of these is not true? A molecule of sorbitol contains 3 more oxygen atoms than a molecule of glytamine. So I'm looking at sorbitol, glytamine. So let me see. Sorbitol has 6. Where's sorbitol? Glytamine has 5. Wait, what am I looking at? Oxygen. 3. So he has 6. Is 6 3 more than 3? Yes, and that one's true, so I can't use it because it's looking for not true. A molecule of lactose contains twice as many atoms as a molecule of fructose. So I'm going to look at lactose. 12 plus 22. So he has 45 as fructose. That's 24. It's 24 times 2, 45. So I can't have twice. Let me look at the next one. Just to be sure, because I miscount sometimes. A molecule of fructose contains 4 more atoms than a molecule of glytamine. Fructose. Let me do fructose. He had 24. And a model of glytamine. Did I do glytamine? No, I didn't. 15 plus 5 gives me 20. 20 plus 4 gives me 24. So that one's true. A molecule of lactose contains twice as many carbon atoms as a molecule of sorbitol. So lactose, I'm going to look at his carbon, he has 12. As sorbitol, I'm going to look at sorbitol's carbon, he has 6. Yep. 6 times 2 gives me 12. So I have to go to the one that was not true. Twice is not true. Pause. The masses of 4 vehicles and the net forces acting on them as they enter a highway are recorded in the table. Calculate the least acceleration of the vehicles listed. Least acceleration. I should be writing that formula. I saw some of you subtract. I'm not sure why. My calculator is kind of gone. Okay. Force divided by mass. 4,500 divided by 1,500 should give me 3. Open calculator. Okay. 4,500 divided by 1,500. I didn't even type nothing, darn it. 100 divided by 1,500 gives me 3. So I'm gonna write 3 right here. 4,500 divided by 1,200. 3.75. 4,500 divided by 1,800. 2.5. 4,500 divided by 2,000. 2.25. So out of all those, this truck and the smallest. So on my paper, I should have bubbled 2.25. Good. So go ahead, wrap up your corrections, and then go ahead and start moving on to your test tracker.